In this video, I'm going to show you how I transform a design of a real website into something much better, applying some design fundamentals. A website that was looking like this into something that now looks like that. More organized, better spacing, better fonts, better hierarchy, all of that in this video. So check it out. Okay, so we have the first picture or the first scan of the website, which is this one. There are cool things about this, but let's start going step by step. So we have the navbar, and the navbar is fine. I like the design, I like the choice of colors, but there is also something that you're going to start noticing is about the alignment with elements. So that's one of the things that I will really encourage. Here we have the main line, and one of the things that really repeats through this design is a lack of hierarchy. Here we have also this shadow, which is not doing well, and below that we have a serif font, which I don't think is doing well for the design as well. Other issues that I spot, well, this I love the section, but there are things that I will do better here is, for instance, again, the hierarchy. We have fonts that are competing, like we have the headline, and also we have like a widow element here. In this case, we have the title of each of these elements here in these three columns, but also the text is competing with the title hierarchy. We have this white button, then we have this section, which is interesting, the design and the colors, typography as well. I think is really good. But then the shape of how the title is making is probably very jumpy. That's one of the things to consider. So here you can see that these icons, I really think they are cool, but here the icons change drastically. So that's another issue with this design. Again, the shaping of the title is very weird here, is jumping in lines. We have the down bracket arrows and the circle. I don't think they are necessarily bad, but I don't think as well that they are doing good for the design, because I think that they are out of context right now. Then we have this, again, this section is super cool, but alignment, I will do the image to align with the title here. I think it's going to make the design better. The fonts, yeah, let's work in the fonts as well. We have serif font here, which is not very bad, but probably while tweaking it, I'm going to just choose one of the fonts. Okay, on this section, I don't love the center alignment for this title. We have this paragraph, which is in serif and as well as competing. I think it's because of the weight of the font. We have this button, which I will do another color. And then the image here, I don't think that the alignment is very good as well. So I will put it somewhere here, or try to use more of the space that we have here. Okay, and we have the footer it feels a little empty. I will put together these elements. I feel that they are a little bit disconnected and move it more to the right, just to balance a little bit more the design. And this logo is down below by its own, so let's try to make that well too. Okay, so that's the first scan of the website, and the first thing that I will do is I will apply, in this case, some columns. So let me put those columns here. Then first I will try to align the head, the navbar, to that column. If you can tell the difference, that the navbar is probably over exceeding here this area, so it's going way beyond the limits of the design. So now let's tackle the other elements of the design. I have completed the hero section, and here on the before, you can see that there are many elements competing. Even the shadow is not very good. But here what I did is just I established a very obvious hierarchy between the elements. What I would do is I would try to just reduce, I will try to balance the line a little bit more. Another thing that I will try to apply to the design is that I'm going to change the font just to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's use this font. I think it does very well, the universe. Okay, let's try to select all the elements and just put that font. Let's see how that changes the design. Okay, I think I like it, how is behaving with the design. I will try to tweak a little bit more the letter spacing. I don't love it right now, so let's try to make it somewhere around that. Seems to be working. here in this section in particular, we're trying to correct the widow element here. I think, yeah, just 2 lines, as you can see, is much better. It looks, I would say it looks much better because we have more hierarchy between the elements. So we have, we solve the issue about this little widow element, and we solve also the issue with the hierarchy. Okay, let's address the next section. So this element, I'm going to unwrap it. Then what I was telling you about this title break, how it breaks, is not very visually pleasing, so we're going to try to solve that. So I'm going to try to first try to see if there are some breaking points that I can fix with that. For instance, just like that, I feel that it looks much better. The spacing between the elements, the little spacing, I'm going to copy this because that's how this element should be, more or less. Yeah, that looks much more better. Yeah, I think, well, the line break here, I don't love it, so I will try. Okay, yes, that makes sense now. So now we have another issue, which is the little widow at the end, but it's not that bad as this one because we have too much space here. Like from this point to this point, there was like so much, but now there is not much space, so that looks more unified. What I can do is I can going to copy this button, and well, I'm not a huge fan of that button, but I think it's more consistent than the things that we have here. Let's make it like that. So after we have tweaked the fonts here, let's make sure that we are also respecting our column system. So let's make sure that the images are fitting and we are not exceeding the spacing we have available. So things like that are going to make a very big difference in your design. This section has many things, but let's start again with our column system. So let's try to grab these elements, make it work so we can just move these elements to this area because this is the middle of the design. So that's what we are going to try to fix here. But first, I would like to address the icons because the icons really feel like they are not following this style. So let's try to find something more similar to this. I don't think I have like the icon set for that, but let's try to improvise a little bit here. Okay, now, well, it took me a little bit of work to establish the icons, but what I'm going to do next is about the down chevron arrow, which I don't love. And so that's another trick that we're going to be doing here. So first I'm going to look for one of the arrows I like. Let's see if, well, at the end I didn't love that. So what I'm going to be doing is just creating my own shape here, which I mean, it's fine. It's going to be fine. All right, so in this part in particular, what I did is that I changed the button that we have previously, this button, which I don't think it was looking very well like a button, and I just replaced it with what we are using as a button through the design. So in this case, visually, if you keep like one element to be consistent through your design, then it's going to be very obvious for the user that this is another button instead of just trying to figure out that that's a button. Okay, so I also, in this case, try to respect for the middle position, which I'm trying now to accommodate a little bit. So this should be auto. Yeah, like that. Okay, now let's move into this interesting section. With the button, I just decided that the button should be here instead of going down below. I think the action is more connected by grouping the information like that. I feel that the button is very far from where it needs to. When I tried to make it smaller, it was really obvious. So I really think if we just move it like that, it's going to be easier for the information to get digested. And right now it really feels safer like that. All right, okay, let's move to this section. So I think that this button deserves as a tertiary button to have a different color, something that blends better with the rest of the design. And I think that looks much better like that. So here, because I was feeling that the image was kind of a little imbalanced, I just created this shape just to make everything to have like a, I don't know, like a balance point. I don't know how to explain that, but with this you can see that the element visually is more balanced. All right, so I have finalized all of the design tweaks that I will be making in the design. Okay, so now let's do a live comparison. In this case, this is the current design of the website. This is how it looks. And now let's take a look at the redesigned version. So by applying these principles, we can get like a professional looking website without changing any of the design at all. We changed a couple of things like the buttons and probably the font just to try to enhance or to give it like a better look as a whole, like an improvement. But design wise, we didn't change anything in this case. So I really like the end result of this, how these principles of design can affect this so high. So thank you so much for watching. If you love this, if you want to see more like this, just let me know in the comments, and I will be really I'm going to be really happy and really grateful if you want to see more of these videos. Thank you so much. Until next video.